Hello everyone, this is Cole. Before I begin, I just want to say thank you for all the beautiful comments on my Lyran video. I totally did not expect it to be that well received, to be honest. As you know, today I will talk about Alpha Centaurian Starseeds. This information was channeled with two of my Alpha Centaurian guides who are surprisingly avian beings. It caught me by surprise. I never expect them to be avian beings. But they were avian beings. They originated on Lyra and they had major lifetimes in Alpha Centauri. Alpha Centaurians are a very masculine race. They are divine masculine orientated. They are warriors of the land and they carry a lot of dignity and pride in them. They are the protectors and defenders. Their role on Earth is to protect Mother Gaia and the feminine energies ever since it was destroyed in Lyra. What I channeled there was an orange planet. The lands are mostly desert grounds, canyons. The canyons are very similar to Grand Canyons. A lot of red and orange. The civilization started from tribes, and now they are actually quite advanced technologically. They have tall buildings, flying motors. The weather there is hot and always sunny. The sunlight is active most of the time, and the nights are short. Just like in the summer in UK. It gets dark at 11 PM and the sun rises at 4 AM. The characteristics of an Alpha Centaurian varies. Generally, they are hunters, warriors, fighters. As you know, Octarian is also a masculine-orientated system, but they are more science-based, math-based. They think logically based on numbers, geometry, astrology, science and math involved. Alpha Centaurians think in a more philosophical way. They are deep thinkers and are deep analyzers. It involves a lot of morality, what's right and wrong, and beyond that. So, there are many different species I saw in Alpha Centauri. It's funny because most of us thought it's just horse being, the centaur myths. But what I picked up the most, the strongest, was falcons, eagles, hawks, literally avian beings. And these are very masculine beings, but they hold feminine energy from Lyra because they were originated from Lyra. But many of them incarnated in Alpha Centauri because they want to learn about the divine masculine. They want to learn the light side of masculine because Draco has a consciousness of shadow masculine. And they are very not all of them, but they are very power corrupted and they want to control. So after the Lyran War, many Lyran Starseed wants to incarnate in Alpha Centauri to learn the divine masculine. And we want to incorporate that masculine energy into us. I found out most Lyrans that incarnate on Alpha Centauris were avian beings. I'm not sure if that resonates with avian starseeds. There were of course exceptions of felines, but most of them couldn't stand the heat, and so either they did not incarnate there or they chose to stay underground. Felines from Lyra usually choose to incarnate as oceanic creatures underground. There is an underground city where it's cooler and has water in it, lakes, a lot of body of water, just like Lemuria. And most of us choose to incarnate in a male body instead of a female because we want to learn the experience of masculine. But of course there are females too. And so apart from avian beings, I saw horse beings, the beings from the centaur myths. I saw reptiles, the good ones, from Draco. They are immigrants, and apparently many Draconians actually dislike their own system in Draco, so they immigrate in many different other star system, and Alpha Centauri was one of the big ones because they are masculine orientated, so many reptiles actually chose Alpha Centauri too. And so I also see tall humanoids. They are masculine and very huge, very tall, very masculine. And I saw beast-like creatures. Now their language are a bit more aggressive than usual. They cuss a lot, and it's a little bit vulgar, but they are very benevolent beings, and I want to stress this out. It's very easy to misunderstand them. I think in today's society, masculinity itself is misunderstood, and we do need both masculine and feminine. And again, I want to shout out to the Avians actually. They are actually different. Unlike the vulgar nature, the Avians are very calm and solemn. Their minds are full of composure, and they carry the most feminine energy from Lyra, and they brought it to Alpha Centauri. And because of that, many of them are able to learn magic by combining both masculine and feminine. They were able to learn magic. And that is why the Avians are so strong and so powerful. You know, many Egyptian gods or goddesses carry both masculine and feminine energies. They are able to transcend their gender so that they become as powerful as gods. So this really tells us why we have to master both masculine energy and feminine energy. But there's more. Somewhere in the timeline, Draconians have invaded us, attacking us with their starships. As you know, the Draconians were going rampant in many galaxies. They were attacking many galaxies. And in Alpha Centauri, they decided to colonize us and the entire planet for the resources, just like how the British colonized a lot of the country in their history. And they added laws and politics into our planet and started governing the entire race. But these laws became very draconian, no pun intended, and we are slowly losing our freedom, so we started the largest revolt to take them down. This was the biggest war in Alpha Centauri, and it's the turning point. It was the longest battle, but the Alpha Centauri were victorious in the end. They won. They took back their planet. The Alpha Centaurians were like the Spartans from Sparta. They are very tenacious and very stubborn to go down. They will fight till the very end. And that is one of the warrior aspects in them. But there's one more reason why they were victorious. The Draconian may have powerful weaponry and technology, but they did not have one thing. It was magic carried by the feminine. Since the Alpha Centauri were able to manipulate both masculine and feminine energy especially the Avians, they were able to use magic to fight back against the Draconians. And the Draconians were obviously heavily reliant on technology. And we, the Alpha Centaurians on the other hand, had magic. They used that as their greatest capacity to fight them off and took back their land. They got rid of the law system and the government system, but they realized they do need leaders and rules to maintain the minimum stability for the planet after the war. And because of that, especially because of the trauma, of how Draconians take over and colonize the entire planet, and suffer from freedoms being taken away, they really hate the government system. They are very anti-government, and they hate their freedom being stripped away. They really hate being told what to do by the government. It really sounds like a similar situation to our planet, right? Yes, Alpha Centauri is very similar to Mother Gaia, to be honest. Like, they are the most relatable places because they've gone through what we are going through right now, where the government decides many things and it's trying to take away our freedoms, and it's also polluting the planet, taking the resources of Gaia and draining its resources. That's why there are many Alpha Centaurians that are incarnating at this time to stand against them, to fight against them. They brought a lot of warrior and fighter energy to us that we can protect and defend our land. They want us to learn how to stand up for ourselves and defend ourselves when our sovereignty are perverted by outsiders. We often hear that Arcturians and Pleiadians are very involved in helping Gaia, but we forgot about the Centaurians. They are the closest beings amongst those three. They are our closest neighbors because they went through what we are going through, so they have a lot of eagerness. They really want to help us. And we can all start to ask them for help, especially when incorporating the Divine Masculine into us and working with the Shadow Masculine. So now let me talk about the characteristics of this starseed. Alpha Centaurians have strong masculine energies. They are deep thinkers. They are righteous. They are protectors. They hate the government. They are anti-government. A lot of them don't even realize they deeply hate the government. They hate manipulative and controlling people. They hate being controlled. They hate being manipulated. They hate lies. They can be a bit prideful, and since they're full of dignity, so sometimes they can be very prideful. They often mask themselves and they don't like to show their vulnerability. They hate being seen as weak. They hide emotions. They hate being seen as weak and powerless, so they hide emotions. They often don't show much emotion unless they trust you. So it's actually pretty hard to get an Alpha Centaurian to trust you. They have trust issues themselves, especially they have many experiences where they were manipulated and burned by lies and control mechanism. But when you get them in their side, they are very loyal. So to all Centaurian Starseeds, I have a message for you all. Embrace your masculinity. It's very helpful. Embrace that masculine energy. Work with that. You know, show what true divine masculine is to the world. But also be open to embrace the feminine energy too. Be vulnerable. Learn to be vulnerable. Learn to express. Life is no fun when you're too serious. And as a matter of fact, balance both masculine and feminine energies. Use them to your advantage. You'll be very surprised if you can master both masculine and feminine energy. You'll be very surprised what they can do. Just like how the Avians were able to use magic to win the war. And that's it for now for Alpha Centaurians. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share with your friend, subscribe, and click on the notification for the next video. And I'll see you all. Much love, much light. Peace.